Looking out of my kitchen window. I'm looking out my window this morning and I found myself thinking about a woman I once knew. Maybe you knew her too. Maybe she was your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, or one of your sister friends. Or maybe it used to be you. She would wake up early before dawn, not sometimes, not when she felt like it, but every morning. While the rest of the house slept peacefully, she was already standing over a hot stove cooking breakfast from scratch. The bacon was sizzling, the biscuits was rising, the eggs was cracking, pots clanging softly in the darkness. Because it was early. Cold cereal and milk, oh no, that wouldn't do. Not for her family. Yes, it took more time. And yes, she would end up rushing herself to get everything done. And no, she was rarely set down long enough to even eat it herself. But somehow, to her, that was important. She ironed clothes with seams so sharp they could almost cut your hand because her family had to look good. And that was what she was taught. Dress them well, present them well, make sure they shined, and shine they did. But if you opened her closet, you would discover another story. Mitch Mac skirts and blouses, secondhand jeans, dresses missing buttons, and safety pins tucked quietly inside the pockets like hidden survival tools because nobody was looking at her anyway. And truth be told, she stopped looking in the mirror at herself. Somewhere between motherhood, marriage, responsibility, church work, and survival, she disappeared. Not all at once, just little by little. She believed that if her children sparkled like the sun, and if her husband looked important, if everybody else looked at them and said, wow, that it was okay, she had done her job. Off they went into the world each day to make their impact, and there she remained, performing her magic, what she called it. Washing, cleaning, cooking, making sure the house felt like home, making sure when everybody returned, they would smell dinner before they even opened the front door. That smell, that comfort, that labor was her love language. Then, somewhere in the middle of all of that, she would rush to clock in to her job because it was online and she was able to do it because her paycheck mattered too, even if nobody else treated it like it did. She knew she was adding something to the household, and that's what she did. But then she remembered, oh, that doctor's appointment. She forgot again. The nurse had called 3 times last week and said something about some tests she took months ago, and the doctor wanted to see her. And she promised her that she would make her own appointment when she came in to take the kids to the doctor. Because she made sure they went to the doctor, made sure they kept their appointments, and made sure she called the doctors to make sure everything was all right with them. Because that was important to her. Even if it meant having to leave work early, even if it caused a little inconvenience, even if she was a little tired, because she noticed recently her chest felt pain, pressure, It just hurt. And she got dizzy sometimes, a little short of breath, but that was probably some kind of acid reflux or something she ate or probably didn't get enough sleep. So she'll just take another extra pain reliever and keep it moving. Because women like her was taught to push through the pain, push through the tiredness, and keep going. Because she had so many things to do, because people was counting on her. She had responsibilities and obligations. She had committed to leading a church group, and that was going to be for the next 6 months. She didn't wonder what she going to do. She knew she was going to do it. But she did think, where was the time going to come from? And then she answered herself back, it always worked out, and it always will. Or at least that's what she hoped it would, because it always did. Then there was her husband's dinner. She learned not to make his plate too early because he was having late meetings every night. And when he came home, she didn't want his food to be cold. So she waited for him to call to put it in the oven so it'd be just right when he came in. Fresh and perfect. Even though lately he barely touched it anymore. Still, she gave him the best treatment. That's what she did. Because somewhere deep inside, she had been taught that being chosen by a man was part of her value, and she believed it. Oh, she got a little tired sometimes. But rest was a luxury for her. She had planned to attend in the women's retreat too, coming up next month. But she had to change that. She didn't have time. She had too many things to do. Maybe next time. She'll let the sisters know. Next time she's going to come. So she pushed through. She'll just stay home this time. So she planned to go out for dinner with one of her friends who was coming in from out of town. Hadn't seen her in years, and they were excited on the phone making the plans, but she don't think she'll be able to make that either. Because when she was looking at her budget, because she was told to tighten up the budget, she didn't think she had the money to even go out for that. She'll just have to let her know. She'll catch her next time. Even though this household, 2 people worked, her and her husband. Both of them brought home the money, but she was reminded that his money was more important than hers. And after years of hearing that, she began to believe it. So she turned the burner low after she got the call from him, and she waited, waiting for him, waiting to serve, waiting to matter. And during those times, sometimes midnight came often, but she stayed ready because she had been taught he is the king of the castle, and she better remember that. But as I'm looking out this kitchen window today, I wonder, who told women they had to disappear in order to be loved? Who taught generations of women that taking care of themselves was selfish? Who convinced them that exhaustion was honorable, that their body could keep carrying what their heart and soul was drowning under? And then suddenly, there she was, laying in a hospital bed, machines humming, voices whispering, and faces looking worried. And some was openly crying. Others were speaking in soft, hushed tones in the hallway. She wondered who were they talking about. But she realized she was the only one laying in the hospital bed. And she kept drifting in and out. Do you know what she was thinking all the time? Not about herself, not about the pain and the pressure she was feeling in her chest, not even fear. She was wondering if the floors had been cleaned, because she can't remember if she washed them before she clocked in to work. She was wondering who was going to wash the dishes after dinner. And then, through the noise, she heard someone whisper outside the room, "It may be too late." Someone should have told her to take care of herself first. And maybe this is why I'm sharing this today, because I want to tell every woman listening, please stop waiting until your body collapses to believe you matter. You are not just the cook, the fixer, the chauffeur, the ATM money machine, the ride, the counselor, the strong one. You are a human being, a woman worthy of rest, a woman worthy of care, a woman worthy of softness, and a woman worthy of putting herself above anybody else's priorities. And maybe, just maybe, those dishes can wait. Just me and you, sis, standing looking out the kitchen window. And I'm reminding you, you are important. I'll see you next time as we look out the kitchen window, but we look in.